Hey guys, what's up? My name is Art. Welcome back to my channel. This is the second time I'm trying to do this today. I did about 10 videos, 10 to 15 videos, and I just deleted them because I just thought they were crap. But this is a comic book review today, in which there's some comics that I've read, I bought, read them. Some of them liked, some of I didn't like. If you read any of these books and you liked it, I'm not saying that. This is just my own opinion. Or if you think about buying it, you might, I never look at reviews to see whether I want to buy something or not, or if I want to watch something or not. I always just do it and form my own opinion. But I do listen to other people to see what they try to figure out what they found. For example, the first one, Venom 28. This is a variant cover, and I bought it basically for the cover. So I took a peek inside and read it, and this story is so convoluted that technically, if you haven't read any of the Venoms, I know I bought a couple here and a couple there, but the problem is that I'm so far behind on this, it's confusing to me. I don't know where it's going or what it's doing. I have no idea. So basically, I just didn't like it because I didn't know what was going on. I just jumped on it, and it's like, ooh boy. Somehow he going to an alternate timeline and found his ex-wife there with a Venom suit or something. What the? I'm like, whoa. I don't know. I thought the cover was cool, but the story to me was nah. Maestro number 2. I'm really liking this. Written by Peter David. Peter David is an old school writer. He also wrote he wrote some of the greatest Hulk runs and some of the greatest Hulk stories back in the day, to the 80s and 90s. So it's perfect for him to come out here. This is the Hulk after the world destroys itself from nuclear holocaust. He looks to find this. Looking for the Maestro, and he finds him. And it's an old person from the get-go. So, but the thing is, I love this book. If you're a Hulk fan, I'm not that big of a Hulk fan, but this book I'm really digging. Excuse me. Really digging. So, and it's a surprise who's at the end. So I wonder how that's going to turn out, but I love this book. Juggernaut number 1. After months and months and months of waiting for this, it finally comes out. The story is very unique. Juggernaut is not necessarily a bad guy in this one. He's not a villain. He's kind of like a good guy. And every now and then he does make good turns for good on the good side of the law. He's normally a villain. Normally he's a villain. But back in the early 2000s, almost 20-some years ago, he did a run where he actually joined the X-Men. But, this one, he meets up with some people. I wonder where this is going with this. But I was very, very intrigued by it. Fabian Nicieza was a very, very prominent writer in the 80s and 90s. I can't remember which decade, but he writes some great stories. And so, naturally, this is a good one. I suggest you pick it up. Yeah! By the way, I have no idea if I did these reviews on these books before. If I did, let me know about it. Rise of Ultraman. Big fan of the original show from the 60s. Of course, if you know the Ultraman story, the show was called Ultra Q, and then the second series became Ultraman. It's like a retelling of the Ultraman story in today's times. So and plus there's so many stories in the back, and I'm really liking it. I'm really, really liking this. So I'll definitely If you're an Ultraman fan, definitely pick up. If you're not an Ultraman fan, you may or may want to stay away from it because it's going to be some stuff that you don't quite understand. Daredevil 22. If you look at it, Daredevil's mask with horns. Now the thing is, for some reason, I could have sworn I did a video reviewing this book, but if I did, like I said, let me know down below. But I don't remember. But I thought I deleted it. But anyway, he meets up with Iron Man by Chip Zdarsky. One of the best writers out today, but I'm going to have to pick this up again. So right now, I'm kind of iffy on this book. I'm kind of iffy on Daredevil, but I had to pick up the next issue to figure out what I want. Next is Web of Villain Wraith. As when Donny Cates could not do any more with the cosmic story with the symbiotes, he put another niche, another person into it. I didn't like this book. I really didn't. I tried to like this book, but I sure did not like this book. I understand where this book is probably coming from, but it just wasn't me. It just wasn't me at all. Immortal Hulk 0. Perfect story. Now, what happened? One good thing about this book. No, it's funny. I think I did do a review on these books. Because I remember talking about the Savage She-Hulk for. If I did this before, let me know. It's so bad because I was actually deleting a lot of videos from my site, from my channel. Deleting a lot, watching some other videos to see if I still like them or not, if it still represents who I am or who I am right now. But anyway, this is a good book. It talks about Banner's father, and said the Hulk was always inside, and just the gamma bomb just let the loose out. Whatever. But I know these next two books, I know I didn't talk about. I know I didn't, because I just read them last night. Amazing Spider-Man 49 or issue 850. One of my pet peeves with Marvel Comics, they love to restart books. Book's not selling. Let's kill it off. Relaunch it. And they relaunched Amazing Spider-Man about 5 times, I believe. See, the thing is that this is, out of this volume, this is issue 49, right here. But in reality, this is the 850th issue of Amazing Spider-Man. Now think about this. Action Comics. It's about to hit 1,000 a year and a half ago. It's about to hit 1,039 in about the next year, which will be the 1,000th appearance of Superman. What happens? They relaunched Action Comics for the New 52, but guess what? It was a new spin. But when they went back to the old people, they kept it going. They didn't put out a number 1. They kept the Action Comics. Detective Comics is the same way. Detective Comics, which I'm about to review in a minute, had 1,000 issues. 1,000. Not this bullshit. Legacy 850. This should have been issue Amazing Spider-Man 850. That's called longevity. It's cause instead of looking for the quick buck, you give a damn. Years ago I wrote a scathing letter to Marvel about this, and I've shared it on my in my MySpace page with the MySpace comic book group. That's how long ago it was when I wrote this letter. And everybody who said the same, everybody's like, yeah, I understand this. Why did they keep doing this stuff just to make sales? They could just did a one shot and say, "Oh, okay, oh well." But anyway, this story is the combination of the current storyline of the Sin Eater storyline, but it's still not done. The Sin Eater storyline is still not done. Now, here's the funny thing: is this is a callback. Now, what happened was years ago, about a year ago, I did a review on one of my two favorite Amazing Spider-Man comic books, Amazing Spider-Man 238 and 239. Or was it 239 and 240? There's a reason why I did that, because they did a callback to that inspiration to defeat the Sin, to defeat the Sin Eater this way. He's still not defeated, but guess what? You'll see why if you read this book. I'm loving Nick Spencer's run on this right now. At first it kind of hit and miss, but it's starting to get into stride and I'm liking it. The only part that was kind of weird is that the Spider-Verse people was around. Like all the Spider people was going to save Spider-Man from the Green Goblin killing him. Yes, I know this is a spoiler alert. Fine, who cares? I want to tell you something. If you want to talk about spoilers, read Previews magazine. Previews magazine is a magazine, for those of you who don't know anything about comics, it's for the comic book shop and you to determine what comics you're going to see 2 months down the road. And guess what? There's a synopsis of each comic book that gets printed out 2 months from now in previews. It costs like $10 to get that magazine. It's a little thick. I'll give you an example. And I keep this around. In 2019, this is a episode preview. Jonathan Hickman, the new Dawn of X storyline and Powers of X and all that. They talked about it in this magazine. See how thick that sucker is? So if you talk about spoilers, they tell you what books are coming out and what the book's about. They give you a spoiler in here already. And even give you a previews of the variant artwork too. But anyway, this is a keeper for me. Now the next issue just came out is Amazing Spider-Man 50. Oh well, what can you say? Now this is Detective Comics 1037. 27. And the significance of this is the thousandth appearance of Batman in Detective Comics. Because he debuted in Detective Comics 27. Kind of thick book. 11 short stories. Some short stories are very good. Some short stories are very not so good. One of my favorite ones was The Rookie. I call it The Rookie. Basically, a rookie cop. The person wants to be a cop in Gotham, where they know Gotham is loaded with dirty cops, and what happens, and certain detectives and people up above, like sergeants, was giving this girl the stink eye, and she couldn't figure out why. They must think I'm dirty. They must think I'm dirty. They kept giving her, and they kept showing her, looks like they're giving her the stink eye. At the end of the short story, Commissioner Gordon comes up to her and offers her a prime position as a detective. And he says, "We've been watching you." And of course, Batman was in the background. Another one was like the whole Bat family was investigating the murder. And that was kind of funny too. This is the Jim Lee variant, and that's what I like. Wow, I got these now. I just got back from the store today. For one of the stores. My regular store. Now, what happens, I go to the store called Time Travelers sometimes. I took Dynamite Kid 100. Oh, I'm sorry. Tailor Made Man. I took him to the comic books, to the store, and he was amazed. He was like, oh my gosh. And the thing is like, We could have stayed there for hours on end, literally. I took him there. And that's where I went to go buy some comics. Tomorrow I'll go to my comic book store because they have free comic book day and there's some free comics. Some of them I already got, but there's one or two ones I was looking for, and they're going to be there. Hopefully I get there early enough to get them. But anyway, like I said, and I said, what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you what I buy, and then after I read it, I'm going to tell you about it. Now, some people are very quick to read. Sometimes I'm very slow to read. No, actually, I am very slow to read. I'm sorry. So, without further ado, this is Batman 100. This is the end of the Punchline storyline. And thing is that, see that cover? Look at that. That's awesome. So this is the end of the storyline. So that means I found the Joker War, and that means I can finally read the Joker War in entirety, the main storyline, not all the subplots, but I can finally read it all from beginning to end. Finally. So I'll get that done, and I'll tell you what I think about it. Next is a reprint of Wonder Woman. This is George Perez's early work. So this is pretty cool. This is a reprint of it. So I love that DC and Marvel are doing reprints of their old classic books. I love they're doing that. Try to give readers a fresh perspective on that. And on the back of this is the advertisement for the Legion of Superheroes TV show that I never seen. And luckily, I never will go on to. I don't want to see it. Next is Detective Comics 1028 variant cover. I like that cover. Looks pretty cool. Batman doing that superhero landing pose. Awesome. Next is now Amazing Spider-Man 50 variant cover. This is the next issue from this. Okay. And this is the variant cover. Look at that Vampire Hunter. It's kind of neat. Yeah. So naturally, tomorrow when I go to my store, I'll get the original copy of it. The reason why I go to Time Travelers because they have the variants right on the shelf. I could just look through. Oh, I like this. Done. As I talked about earlier, Rise of the Ultraman number 2. Now, basically, this should be the first appearance of Ultraman in itself. So I'm hoping this is cool as the first one. Last but not least is something that I never wanted to. I heard rumors of, but I just thought it would never. When I heard rumors of that, I said this would never work. Never ever work. Now some of you might be wondering, what are you talking about? Now years ago there was a tabletop game, a miniature war game called Warhammer 40K. Some of you may have heard of that game. Some of you may have played that game. Some of you, I played it before. I played it during fifth edition, I think. And now they're on 8th or 9th now. Thinking about getting back into it again, but that's a very expensive game to play and collect at the same time. You will spend, to get everything you want, you will spend at least $300 to $400. But then again, if I spend that much on comics on a normal basis, so hey, what difference does it make, right? Righto. So what happened is Marvel Comics made a deal with Warhammer Games Workshop to create a Warhammer comic book. When I read this rumor about 6 months ago, way before the pandemic, I said this would never work. This would never work. Because the Warhammer is violent. It's bloody. It's gory. It's gory. I mean, tell you, if they actually made a... I mean, there was a movie they made. There was a movie that's for Blu-ray, Ultramarines, which is based off the Warhammer 40K universe, and it came with a DVD extra. So I bought this way before I bought a Blu-ray player. So if I can get this open, I kind of want to watch this again. This is a very good movie, very good animated movie. Oh. It came with a little book. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's gory and stuff like that. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna keep this up so I can watch that tonight. Yeah, so I'm gonna watch this tonight. Yeah, I might do a review on this movie. Maybe, I don't know. Thinking about it, probably not, but I'll watch that movie tonight. So here it is. Warhammer 40K, the first comic variant edition, Marnus Galgar. And of course, this is what the miniatures look like. Lots of painting. Lots of money. For example, that miniature right there probably costs about $30. But it kicks ass. And the starter set, which is cost like maybe, will set you back maybe like $50 to $60. But anyway, I can't wait to read this because it should be good. But anyway, that's all the comics I have for you today. Now, like I said before, I could have sworn I did a review on some of the books I did today. I could have sworn I did, but I don't remember. And if I did, let me know down below. If you think some of these books are really cool, and you want, let's discuss some of these books. If you think any of these books are great or really good to read, let me know down below. If you want to know what I should, if you want to give me a suggestion what I should try to read to expand my comic book knowledge, let me know down below. Basically, if you want to just say hi, let me know down below. Hey, how you doing? It's Friday night. Yay! Some people got paid today, like me. Some people pay some bills today, like me. Yep. But anyway, want to say good night. Have fun. Keep to yourself. Don't mess with others. And one day I'll come up with a catchphrase that will actually sound great and will stick. Until then, see you later.